Welcome on Cool Paradigms. Here is a device that significantly speeds up the production of homemade milk kefir while making it cleaner. First point, the slots. When extracting milk kefir with a simple sieve, one quickly notices that square meshes are generally too small for a quick result, and if we use larger square holes, too many grains pass through. In practice, slots are better than square holes. Second point, the solidarity of the sieve with the base container. One difficulty related to standard techniques for milk kefir comes from the need to use an external sieve to the container, which must be very clean and without detergent, ideally rinsed with boiling water, which constitutes a consequent consumption of water and energy. This device solves the problem with the slotted sieve attached to the container, which can be easily reused for several consecutive preparations without washing it about 10 times. Note that the cleaning stage of the slotted sieve generally corresponds to a complete cleaning of the device and an inspection of the grains visualized in an auxiliary sieve, which does not need to be slotted. If necessary, remove the grains that have become less effective. They generally have a slightly darker color, being smooth and hard. Use a teaspoon that has been previously boiled and cooled to room temperature to remove them one by one. Third point, a scraper attached to the sieve allows to unclog the slots from the inside while selecting the grains that have good elastic properties, whereas the ineffective grains with their more rigid and fragile structures are more likely to be destroyed in this process or to correct their rigid tendency. The fourth point is an improvement on the standard paradigm. We don't use the transparent lid, but just a thick fabric held with a large elastic for a good protection while maintaining enough moisture. All of this allows the scraper to stay in place and the jar to be filled with milk through the slots of the sieve, partially cleaning them with a time-saving manipulation. Time for action. We take the jar out of the cupboard and remove the cloth to examine the result. Be careful, the cloth should always be put back on the same side in case insects have shown interest in its outer part. We can see through the glass that the milk has coagulated nicely. Now, we need to shake the jar vigorously to break up the coagulated structure and facilitate the passage through the slots. We can now pour the content through the slots while moving the scraper to facilitate the flow of kefir. Once most of the kefir is extracted, we add a small amount of room temperature milk to clean the grains. This involves a quick, warm water bath for cold milk we just get from the fridge. We shake again. We collect the mixture with the rest of the kefir while moving the scraper. This time, we fill with milk through the slots, about half the jar, to obtain the future kefir yogurt. We put the cloth back on the correct side, secure it with the elastic, and place the jar back in the cupboard at room temperature for fermentation, ranging from 12 to 48 hours, depending on the room temperature and the quantity of grains compared to the milk. The more grains and the warmer it is, the faster it goes, and it becomes quickly very acidic. We repeat this process about 10 times. Eventually, the device gets clogged and needs to be cleaned. First, protect the grains in a clean small jar containing enough milk to ensure good temperatures and conditions during the cleaning of the main jar, for which you must avoid any trace of detergent. Hence, it's practical to ensure the cleanliness of the jar by only rinsing it with boiling water. Did you know that milk kefir can be used as an aftershave cream or skin ointment for redness after antibiotics or due to high stress? By the way, if you like this video, please click the register button. It's free and even faster than making kefir with the previous device. And here we have some nicely flowing music. you for watching.